So this morning I got a voicemail from a very dear friend of mine. And it was a 5-6 minute message. And for literally 3 to 4 minutes of the 6 minute message, I heard what she didn't have, what she had to live without, what she used to have, what she missed, what she wished she had, on and on and on and on. Now, we are all entitled to bad days, every single one of us. I have bad days, you have bad days. It's just human nature. It's basically something that all of us go through. But there's a couple of things that, if I can, I want to share with you that may improve any relationship that you're in, and most importantly, it's going to improve your life. So basically 2 things. The first is that oftentimes we feel so unfulfilled in our relationships with our friends, our loved ones, even with ourselves, because we have all of these rules and expectations. I have this expectation that if I do this, then you'll do that. Well, I made you coffee this morning and you didn't even bother drinking it. So you evidently don't appreciate what I'm doing for you. You see, when we create rules, when we create expectations on other individuals and how they are to perform, how they are to behave, how they are to respond, guess what we're going to realize in our life? It's going to be disappointment. I know this because I've lived there. I've been there, done that. Got that t-shirt, as they say. So if we can start to change our mindset and we can start to trade expectations for appreciation, and you think, well, I can't appreciate my loved one, my spouse. I mean, I made that coffee and they never even bothered drinking it. Like, it's obvious that they don't appreciate it. Did they tell you that they didn't appreciate it? Did they vocalize it? And maybe they were having a bad day. So maybe we can just appreciate the fact that we created it, we gave them the coffee, but we can appreciate that they've got some stress in their life too, and they didn't have the time. Or they really wanted to, but they totally forgot because they were so preoccupied with other things. You see, we create this sense of urgency in our lives so very often. We create our own stress because we say, well, everything is urgent and important. And the reality is that not everything in our life is urgent and important. It's simply not. There are things in our life that, yes, we have to get done, and they have a timeline. They have a deadline. There's certain things in our life that's really important, but they don't have a timeline, a deadline. Now, if we take everything that's in our life and we max it out by saying it's not only important, it's absolutely urgent, and we spend most of our time there, mentally, physically, guess what we're going to be? We're going to be absolutely stressed. It is better, it is less stressful and more fulfilling to spend your time on things that are important. And you say, yes, but everything is urgent. Everything? Absolutely everything is urgent? I don't think so. You know, how many of us have had situations in our life where we had a tremendous headache? Tremendous headache. Oh, it was one of those pounders, you know, the type that I'm talking about, where it's like somebody's got 2 cymbals on either side of your skull and they're going bang, bang, bang. And all we can think about is this horrible headache that we have. And then all of a sudden, something really significant happens. A car accident occurs. We witness a person fall down. We get a phone call and someone is crying, someone's hurt. We get a letter in the mail from the IRS, anything. And all of a sudden, guess what? That headache doesn't seem so significant anymore. Why? Because it was replaced with something that was really, truly significant. In fact, we forgot we even had the headache. I've had this with hunger. Man, I'm very hungry. But then all of a sudden something happens, and you know what? For whatever reason, the hunger disappears, and I'm not even focused on the hunger anymore because my attention has been turned to something that was truly important. So if we can begin to develop the sense of trading our expectations for appreciation. Oh, it's raining out today. Oh, my day is ruined. Gosh, isn't it nice that we're getting some rain? It's going to make everything look so clean, and it's going to refresh. And gosh, now I don't have to water my flowers. Just that one little shift can be helpful to you. The second thing is going to be really, by and large, how we frame for ourselves our day. How we frame our day all throughout the day. What we focus on. My good friend, I know her heart. I know her soul. She is a beautiful soul. And she was so focused on what she didn't have that her world was just absolutely closed in around her. When it comes to your money, so many individuals focus on what they don't have. They focus on the balance that they wish that they had that they don't have. They have this expectation about how their financial advisor is supposed to perform, how he or she is supposed to behave, how they're supposed to provide certain things. And you see, if you find yourself in this constant rut of repetition, of continually focusing on what you don't have, continually focusing on how your expectations were never met, then let me ask you, how fulfilled is your life going to be? So here's my challenge for you today. And I know that it is a very big challenge, especially if where we reside emotionally as human beings, where we tend to go home. We have this emotional home that we tend to go to. And you know what? We go there often. We go there because it's so comfortable. Whether that's living in an absolutely stressed state, or whether it's becoming very recluse and pulling ourselves away from society and other people. Whether it's taking and focusing on what we don't have, or if it's focusing simply on what we expected others to do and they never did it and they let us down. If we can simply take and start to mentally pay attention to when we go to those emotional homes, and we can start to make the shift within our mind, within our heart, we can start trading those expectations for appreciation. We can start focusing on things that are important. And we can truly focus on things that are important, not just urgent. And we can start to appreciate all the beautiful things that are around us. Not only are you going to find that your stress level comes down significantly, but you're also going to find that you're so much happier with people. For years, I had this high expectation for people around me. I had an even higher expectation for myself. And it's not wrong to push yourself. It's not wrong to challenge yourself. But when you fail, which is human to every single one of us, and then you just completely bag and dog on yourself the whole time, and you're your biggest critic, and somehow people find significance out of that because they're paying attention to who? Themselves. Oh, I'm not good enough. And oh, it goes on and on and on. Now all of a sudden, Now you're going to have a very unfulfilled life. But if you make that shift, and it's hard, but it's doable, now you can start to realize fulfillment in your life. Now you can realize less stress in your life. You want to spend time with your kids? Don't make it urgent. Make it important. And who cares if it makes you a little behind for something else that you find not as important? You see, we're all human beings, and all of us are in this together. All of us are learning together. Some of us are harder learners than others. I would place myself in that category. But it's doable. And so I want to challenge you today, whether the expectation that you put on your financial advisor, the expectation you put on your spouse, the expectation that you put on your children, the expectation you put on society, if you would simply trade that for appreciation, watch how your perception and your point of view and your perspective in life changes, and you become a more fulfilled person. Remember, it's up to you to make today a great day. Thanks so much for watching.